Around the edge, he ran a stunt with Nick Herbig, which got him free. Wow, interesting at the end of that play.
I'm just saying, I think he is what he is. He's too small. His deep balls sail. I thought he was athletic. He looks slow. He does not look athletic. There's nothing extra. There's no juice. This will be the offense with Dillon Gabriel. This is what it's going to be. We have to be at least threaten the defense deep.
This is who Kevin wanted, though. That's the thing. Like, this is Kevin's guy. I get so frustrated watching it because, a lot of times we feel like, oh, they're trying to stick a square peg into a round hole and all this stuff. Not now. He was handpicked by this regime as the number 2 guy on their draft board.
Cleveland has seen
terrible football before, but nothing on this scale. What happened on Sunday night wasn't just a defeat. It was a nationally televised humiliation. The kind that haunts a franchise for years. The kind that makes fans lose it completely. And when the dust settled from the ruins of a dead offense, one name stood right in the middle of the chaos. Dylan Gabriel. 50 pass attempts, barely 220 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 spark, 0 leadership. Just checkdowns, panic throws, and a complete breakdown under pressure.
200 yards. I actually don't know how that's even possible. Let me show you some throws he made that were concerning, because originally I thought he could spark this offense, but that is now out the door as he is Jerry Jeudy and David Njoku literally scared of his passes. So there's debates on hospital balls, right? Like this throw to Njoku was going to get him hit, no doubt, but it was actually well placed and he held on. The thing is though, that gets in his receivers' minds as we saw Njoku later in the drive give up on a ball over the middle, and he even started dropping passes. Gabriel threw him one ball that was almost picked when in reality it went right through Njoku's hands. Jerry Jeudy had a similar situation where he catches a ball in the middle, takes a hit, and a few plays later he sees another pass like it and gives up. That's the concerning point when his top 2 targets aren't trusting his anticipation. Gabriel made a handful of bad passes in this game as I saw at least 3 should-be interceptions that he got away with. But I'm also not going to lie to you and say he was straight up horrible, because for his second start in the league he had some good balls, but it was tough when his receivers were dropping passes and a ton of offensive line breakdowns. Not sure if we're going to see a lot better if Shedeur is out there.
And the worst part? The whole nation watched it unfold while Shedeur Sanders, the man everyone insists should be starting, stood quietly on the sideline. Now the fan base is erupting online. Players are whispering in the locker room corners. Coaches are cracking under pressure. And the Browns? They're frozen in place, pretending it'll all fade away. But it won't. This isn't disappearing. This is a franchise teetering on the edge of implosion. A fan base done begging, a locker room ready to explode, and a quarterback controversy that has turned into a full-scale quarterback rebellion.
Dylan Gabriel is a hilarious quarterback. Dylan Gabriel is a hilarious quarterback. Look at this play.
And it all traces back to that one game. The one where even the Steelers couldn't stop laughing. That Pittsburgh matchup wasn't just a bad night at work. It was a televised disaster. Dylan Gabriel dropped back over 50 times. Let that sink in. 50 pass attempts. That's not game management. That's desperation. And what came out of those 50 tries? Barely 220 yards, 0 touchdowns, and not a single play showing he belonged on an NFL field. Stats can't measure fear, but you could see it in every snap. 3rd and long, 3-yard check down. Blitz coming, panic throw to the flats. Open receiver deep, didn't even look. Pittsburgh didn't bother disguising their defense. 2 high safeties, basic coverage. Daring Gabriel throw deep, and he refused. Again and again, he folded. He surrendered drives before they began. The crowd saw it. The commentators saw it. The Steelers saw it. By the 4th quarter, Pittsburgh defenders weren't even subtle anymore. Laughing, pointing, mocking, all caught on camera. One defensive back smirked, shaking his head, saying, "This dude's scared." That's how bad it got. Professional athletes on live TV openly clowning Cleveland's offense. And they weren't wrong. That night, Browns fans didn't just watch a failure. They watched trust collapse and anger take its place. The stadium emptied in disgust. But the real detonation happened online. The second the game ended, Twitter turned into a riot. Browns fans didn't just respond. They rebelled. Within minutes, Dylan Gabriel's name was trending nationwide, and not for anything positive. Memes hit timelines like bombs. One viral post had Gabriel photoshopped onto a practice squad graphic with the caption, "Finally found his level." Another compared his stat line to Brandon Whedon, and Whedon actually looked better. Then the floodgates blew open. Bench Gabriel trended in Cleveland. Start Shedeur trended across the entire NFL. The community exploded. Browns fan accounts started posting compilations of wide-open receivers Gabriel ignored. One tweet hit 47,000 likes overnight. "We traded Joe Flacco for this? Start Shedeur Sanders before the season dies." And it only got darker. Fans dropped charts, film breakdowns, savage edits. Gabriel was getting torched by his own fan base harder than any opposing defense ever had. People began posting countdown clocks, not for kickoff, but for when Shedeur replaces Gabriel. Reddit threads went nuclear. This isn't bad QB play. This is sabotage. If Stefanski keeps this clown at QB, he wants to get fired. The locker room was collapsing in real time. This wasn't frustration anymore. This was a movement, a full-blown public rejection of Dylan Gabriel as QB1. But the danger? The outrage didn't stay online. What came next crossed from fan fury into locker room rebellion. Inside the Browns facility, things were breaking. Linemen frustrated. Holding blocks for nothing, watching Gabriel dump passes in 2 seconds flat. One veteran reportedly snapped, "Why are we blocking if he won't throw?" Receivers furious, running clean deep routes, getting open, and Gabriel refusing to pull the trigger. After the game, one WR was heard yelling, "Why are we even calling deep shots?" Then came the worst moment. After the final whistle, a defensive captain confronted Gabriel in the locker room. Words were exchanged. Teammates had to separate them. Stefanski denied it happened. Sources insist it absolutely did. The locker room has lost faith in Gabriel, and once that happens, it's over. Meanwhile, Shadur Sanders' name grows louder by the day. Inside the facility, players see the difference. They've watched Shedeur in practice. The arm strength, quick reads, poise. They believe he's already the better quarterback, and now they're saying out loud. Multiple veterans have approached Stefanski asking for change. The offensive coordinator reportedly agrees. Sanders gives him a better shot. Even position coaches whisper that Gabriel's struggles are unsalvageable. But Stefanski remains unmoved. No matter how bad it gets, he sticks with Gabriel. Nobody understands why. Pride? Draft politics? Fear of admitting a mistake? Because what's clear to fans, players, and analysts is somehow invisible to the only man who can fix it. And Shedeur, he's ready. Not pouting. Not sulking. Locked in, waiting for his chance. Players notice. They talk. Some privately admit he's the spark this team needs. Period. But every week he stays benched, the anger grows. Now the national media is circling, and they're not holding back. The Browns try to keep it quiet, contain the storm. It didn't last 24 hours. By Monday morning, every major sports show was lighting them up. Stephen A. Smith didn't hesitate. This is coaching malpractice. Everyone with eyes knows Shedeur Sanders gives you a better shot to win. What is Stefanski doing? Even Skip Bayless, usually the opposite Stephen A., agreed, "I've watched Shedeur since Colorado. He has real NFL tools." Meanwhile, Dylan Gabriel looks completely overwhelmed. This isn't complicated. Colin Cowherd laid out cold. There's a legitimate quarterback on the bench, and Cleveland's tanking their season out of pure stubbornness. Even Robert Griffin III joined in, tweeting, "You throw it 50-plus times and get 220 yards with 0 TDs? That's not an offense, that's a meltdown." And it didn't stop there. Podcasts across the board began ripping Gabriel's play to shreds. Analysts began tearing the film apart frame by frame. Twitter clips of missed wide-open receivers went viral. Experts started calling Cleveland QB blind and a playoff roster being wasted. But the most brutal shock came from a former Browns quarterback who told a reporter off the record, "Everyone in that building knows Shedeur should be starting, but the coach is scared to admit he was wrong." The media wasn't just criticizing anymore. They were mocking, turning this into the league's biggest quarterback joke. And Stefanski? He just kept repeating the same line. "Dylan gives us the best chance to win." But by now, nobody believed it. After the Steelers' loss, a reporter finally asked the one question everyone wanted answered. Have you considered starting Shedeur Sanders, given the offensive struggles? Stefanski's reply, Dylan gives us the best chance to win. That single line broke the internet. One fan edited the clip with a laugh track. Another dubbed it over circus music. Dozens of Browns podcasts played it on loop, mocking it like a stand-up routine. Because the truth is, no one buys it anymore. Behind the scenes, insiders say the front office is worried. Some believe Stefanski is letting ego and pride make decisions instead of performance. Others think he's too scared to admit the Gabriel experiment failed. Either way, the result's the same, a coach looking completely detached from reality. Even other NFL coaches, off the record, are reportedly questioning his judgment. And when that happens, it's no longer a hot seat, it's a countdown. Stefanski isn't just losing games. He's losing the locker room, the fan base, and now credibility across the league, all while the solution sits wasting on the bench. This isn't quarterback drama anymore. It's a full-blown fan rebellion, and it has a face, Shedeur Sanders. The moment Dylan Gabriel Steelers meltdown hit social media, Browns fans mobilized like never before. It wasn't just rage, it was organized chaos. Thousands of fans changed their profile pictures to Shedeur's face. Reddit threads pinned guides on how to mass tag the Browns' official accounts. X Twitter exploded with trending hashtags. Hashtag Start Shedeur. Hashtag Gabriel Gotta Go. Hashtag Let Shedeur Cook. Even fan-run podcasts launched emergency episodes, breaking down film, mocking Gabriel's stat lines, and calling out the front office directly. One viral clip racked up 500,000 views overnight titled, "This is coaching malpractice, the case for starting Shedeur Sanders." Then came the memes, fake missing Browns offense posters with Gabriel's face in the center. Fans posted mock hashtag Shedeur 4QB1 campaign ads with dramatic music and slogans. This wasn't trolling or a fringe movement. This was a majority of the Browns fan base, united behind one demand: play Shedeur Sanders or burn the season down trying. Stefanski may think it's still his decision, but if he waits much longer, the fans will make it for him. And that's the heartbreak. The Browns finally built something real. A defense ranked among the league's best. A solid offensive line. Elite receivers and tight ends. Special teams firing on all cylinders. For once, everything was ready, except for the one thing that always dooms this franchise: quarterback play. And this time, it's not about talent. It's about a deliberate refusal to acknowledge the better option. A decision that's choking the life out of the entire roster. The defense dominates week after week, only to see their hard work thrown away. The offense isn't broken by injury. It's paralyzed by fear. And the head coach just stands there, arms folded, pretending the problem will magically disappear. This team has the potential to win the division. They could easily make a playoff run. But that window, it's closing fast. And it's not because the opponents are better. It's because this team refuses to evolve. Shedeur Sanders, the one man who could flip everything, is stuck on the bench. With every game he doesn't play, that spark of hope fades even more. The Browns aren't losing to superior squads. They're losing to their own stubbornness. Every snap Dylan Gabriel takes pushes this franchise closer to implosion. The defense is elite. The offensive weapons are loaded. The fans are desperate. And Shedeur Sanders is standing right there, waiting for his shot. But Stefanski refuses to move, and nobody can explain why. Gabriel isn't just underperforming. He's holding the entire franchise hostage. The locker room feels it. The league can see it. And with every passing week, Stefanski's credibility erodes even further. Start Shedeur Sanders now, or prepare for another wasted season and another fractured locker room.